like the Wild West was 100 years ago. It's an area totally rich in natural resources, wildlife, and just all this abundance. And then you have an influx of people that come here and, you know, take part in that harvest as well.
I was conceived on this boat, so I guess I've been fishing since I was 0.
I got started fishing with my dad. 1978 was my first year. I was 8 years old.
36 years, 37.
I ran out of gas in Dillingham and never left.
I was in graduate school to become a historian, but I didn't like the wardrobe, and I found the shoes to be torturous. So I picked fish, and I've been fishing for 37 years.
My best friend's mom's boyfriend turned out was an Alaskan fisherman, so I moved to Asheville and then infiltrated his crew and slowly started talking to him and all of his friends, which were also captains, and just found my way up here.
And then I looked behind me, and the first mate was behind me with a tape measure, and he said, "He'll fit the bunk." So he said, "Oh, he can make coffee and play cribbage, and he fits the bunk, you're hired."
I've been fishing for 30 years.
Every year since 1990.
Since 1986.
This is my 30th year. Yeah, half my life.
I've been commercially fishing in Bristol Bay since 1971. Embarrassed how long that is. I was going to be a professor of economics. I didn't even know how to strike a match up to that point in my life. You know, I was a book boy. And I took a year off to come up to Alaska to have an adventure. And I got a flat tire, and the adventure continues.
Yeah, I love the people up here that I see once a year for 2 months.
It's camaraderie and community.
Really, the only time during the year I get to see the gang. It's a fun thing. Well, at times, you know, it can be work.
I like to think of ourselves as fishermen being more like, you know, the trappers or something, or the mountain men of the time. We have our traditions here. We're kind of like the gypsies, you know. We show up and we catch fish, and we have our own kind of community, and we integrate with the villagers too. But each little group has its own traditions. Theirs, of course, being a much older tradition than ours.
On the bank of the Nushigak River in Koliganek. Probably check the net later downriver. Started when I was 3, 4 years old. Yeah, I started my son when he just turned 3 that year. Surprised, his first year fishing, he never got seasick once. Even his second year, he never got seasick once. Even if it gets rough out there, don't cry to come in, nothing.
The old native guides, when they saw me, they looked and they said, "Hey, you know, You shouldn't have a holy pair of pants like that. You need a chashmak. Chashmak means patches. And then they all cracked up and laughed again, and I said, what are you guys laughing at? And they said, we just give you your nickname. It's gonna be Chashmak.
It's like I get a whole new year every year. Like the new year starts when I'm done fishing.
It lights me up and it has been an incredible school of life.
I feed the world some of the healthiest food on the planet.
I just want to fish until I can't walk anymore.
I can't imagine not doing it.
It's a great way to make a living. I love it. I just love it. That's all there is to it.
If you want to see community, try living in a place where everyone has the same work schedule, the same goal, they go to work on the same time, they quit at the same time, they have the same concerns. Everyone is in the same boat.